Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Sandbox stream. I am Alex, and we're joined by our producer, Joseph, here. Morning, Joseph.
Good morning. How are you?
Doing all right. So, cool stuff going on in the Sandbox this past week. In case you weren't paying attention, Care Bears got announced as a new partner for the Sandbox. So that's really exciting for a almost 40-year-old IP, almost 40-year-old, something like that.
Yeah, it's
It's the
getting up
early
there.
80s, right?
Yeah,
So it's
yeah,
pretty close
82,
to.
I think.
So yeah, almost 40 years old. IP joining us and putting their content in the game. So there will be Care Bears levels and Care Bears NFTs, and that is going to be part of the next presale. So the premium lands, which last presale had all the legendary dragons and some other stuff, this time it's going to be Care Bears content. So you'll have a chance to get 200 quantity legendary Care Bears NFTs that Care Bear stuff in general is pretty collectible, and these are going to be super limited editions. So I imagine those are going to sell very quickly. Let's go ahead and pull up the desktop. There's is the Care Bears announcement in here on this one? I'm not sure if it's in this article on Medium, but there's a lot of cool stuff in this article. So the next pre-sale, let's actually jump back to that other Medium article. The next
All right.
pre-sale is going to be divided up into several stages. So let's make that a little bit bigger. So we've got multiple waves. The first wave is going to be September 15th for 1,171 lands. Wave 2 the next day, Wave 3 the day after that, and Wave 4 the day after that. So September 15th through the 18th, there's going to be 4 waves. That gives you 4 chances to participate. And I think it's a total of about 4,000 and some change lands there for sale, as well as all those yellow premium lands are going to have Care Bears content associated with them. So, very exciting stuff going on. Hi, B333H. Don't know much about Care Bears. Well, there's a lot to go through. Care Bears have as we mentioned earlier, been around since the early 80s, and they have reincarnated themselves many times since then with different artistic styles. And most recently, they updated last year with Unlock the Magic, a newer cartoon series, which is kind of what the content that we're making is based on. So we take after that style. And let's go back to the project update for August. So some cool announcements here. Wait for that page to load up. And so besides the Sand release, Sand has been increasing in liquidity and showing up on different platforms. Joseph, where are your recommended places to go sand hunting?
Well, it depends on your region. For the most of the world, you can take advantage of a Binance. You're going to find fastest transfer rates, least expensive transfer fees over there. If you move it on chain out of Binance into your wallet, there's a bit of a fee, but it's not too bad. If you cannot access the Binance platform, then personally, I would recommend using Uniswap. That is what I use as a US citizen. I don't have access to the Binance platform because of local laws and restrictions, and that DeFi option will allow you to get pretty much as you want, depending on how big your wallet is. I think right now there's over $200,000 worth of sand in Uniswap being traded among user to user.
Cool. So yeah, if you're outside the U.S. and Australia, most people who would be watching this stream who are not in the U.S. or Australia would be able to use Binance. Some places in the U.S. you can use Binance USA, or is it Binance.us? I think is the
Yeah.
the U.S. friendly version of Binance, but that is not available in all states. So I'm in Connecticut. Connecticut is one of the states which does not play nice with Binance. So I am not able to go there, but there are other places like Uniswap and the other places Joseph mentioned. So let's go down here to, oh, I'm still on the, oh no, this is the project update. Okay, so it does mention, I popped out of the pre-sale.
It's pretty big. See, the thing is, we did a ton in August, right?
Yeah.
So like going over that now at the beginning of September, you're gonna have a lot to review.
Yeah, so I skipped right past this image, and I was like, oh, it's not on here, and I went to the other article. So all the information I said about the pre-sale is right here. I'm actually going to go ahead and copy and paste that link to the Medium article in the chat here. So anything that I missed, or if you want more details, because I'm not going to say every single word that's in this giant article, you can check out all the extra info there. So there's Care Bears. If any of you, it's only 15 seconds long, so we can go ahead and watch that real quick. This is the teaser for it.
Caring is the key to unlock the magic. Helping others care and share its magic. Unlock the magic.
So that's Care Bears. The content that we're looking at producing, we're still working with Care Bears on exactly what those games are going to be and look like. So we're looking for a December release for at least the initial content there. So if you take a look at the roadmap for the Sandbox, if you go to, I believe it's sandbox.game/roadmap. Don't quote me on that though. If you go to the Sandbox page, there's an About Us tab and a roadmap there. The release for the public beta for playing the games is going to be in December or towards the end of the year. So we are hoping to get some of that initial content out to you for then. So lots of stuff to do, lots of exciting new announcements that are going to be coming up over the next couple months. Tense is important. And let's see. Avatar systems being worked on. So I don't think these videos, these are about some games that other people are making. But the Avatar system is kind of tucked in here between them, and you might have missed it. There is going to be an Avatar system in the Game Maker, or as I think it's actually going to be part of the dashboard, but you'll probably be able to access it through the Game Maker. And as you travel through hub worlds and through other people's games, you'll get to have a persistent avatar, unless the game specifies that you need a certain avatar, because some games might not be designed for any human with whatever decorations you have on it. It might break your immersion, or it might not fit the gameplay. Some games might have like a unique car control system where they don't use an avatar at all. Some might, if you're doing like some sort of strategy game, or if you're in a very like period specific, like you want Skyrim, you don't necessarily want the Fallout Wasteland Warrior popping in there, because it just won't fit the aesthetic. So specific games can declare a certain avatar, but there will be customizable avatars that you can travel with through the hubs and through games that allow them. So that is in the works, and stay tuned for more info about that. The gallery is something that we haven't really talked about at all. There's going to be a gallery section on your profile where you can share game experiences with players for the first time, located from the main menu. And that is, I think, going to be kind of a precursor to the map integration. So there's still, I'm not sure on all the details on this, so I don't want to, talk about something that I'm not sure about. So stay tuned for more information on the gallery. Fight system, you've seen this if you've been watching the stream. The fight system has gotten a lot of improvements to it. It's much more exciting with combo attacks and dodge rolls, enemy alertness, that they won't notice you at first, and then they'll get a little exclamation point and realize that you're there. So you can do all sorts of stuff with that, and that's just going to get more in depth as time goes on as we introduce sneaking. There's already crouch motions. The sneak key, which is supposed to be C, doesn't really do anything at the moment, but there's going to be more coming for that. What else have we got going on here? Multiplayer. So we've talked about multiplayer before. It's becoming more of a something we're talking about publicly more. So talking about multiplayer with gamers in the main hub. So that's one of those things that we're looking for that end of year release of the public beta, is people interacting with each other and running around in the hub areas. So that's going to be very exciting. We will see more as that feature progresses. Eventually, Joseph and I might be streaming together in the game. That'll be fun.
From multi-stream perspective, that'll be great.
Yeah. Let's see. There's a bunch of Game Maker Fund creations that are mentioned here in the article. So, Gato Stow, who I don't think is in the chat right now, but he sometimes pops in, has been making these crazy alien creatures for his game. Look at this. Look at this chonky boy. So he's been doing some great work with that. We've got these aren't really like game views down here, but Alina, one of our other group leaders, has been making nice naturalistic animals and some beautiful Viking assets for her game that she is working on. William Santa Cruz, who's a very popular voxel artist on YouTube, has been making a Wild West setting for his. And lots of other little things. We've talked about the VoxEdit update before, the new timeline viewer. You can learn more about the specifics of what's changed there. And VoxEdit contest. Let's hop over there and see what's going on with the VoxEdit contest and giveaway. So right now, the theme is making your own kind of avatar. So this isn't the avatar system, but this is kind of like doing a self-portrait. This is kind of like to prep your creative juices for how you're going to use the avatar system once that's released. So let's see what people have been making. All right. Hey, it looks like me. I shaved, so my cheeks are smooth now. But who is this? Damon. This is actually one of our Creator Fund members. So he's got a nice. He's got like a Mario mushroom shirt also, which I'm wearing my Super Mario shirt. I think Damon's stalking me, maybe. Except I don't wear suits like that too often. And then we've got Shaw Dogs. We've got the mask. That's it. Got the eyes popping out from the mask. We got a nice punk here from Jason. Salvador Dali. Apparently, it was Remigio. Remigio is another one of our Creator Fund members. Did Salvador Dali. We've got V for Vendetta mask from I've had to say this before. Amarasiuri. I'm probably not saying that right, but we've got Fearless Geeks. This makes me think of Scott Pilgrim a little bit.
For sure. It looks like maybe the heart almost looks like a YouTube live heart as well. A little bit.
And we've got Zorro from JJK. We've got a soccer player from Sandy. And we got whoever this is with his face. So that's not eligible for the Voxel contest. but it's there. So we've got the contest winners from the previous contest, which was Giants. Crad Super Soldier's great glowing Gorgon, which has got this cool back detail there. I think that's pretty neat. Clankersh's Labyrinth Minotaur. Some really impressive modeling going on there. And Remigio's King of the Abyss. So, Remigio got second and third place. Congrats. That was from like 3 weeks ago. I thought that was from longer ago than that. So these are last week's winners. Sebastian's Triton Prince, Nexonix Sea Explorer, and Sisyphe's Siren. That tail is just incredible. How smooth the animation is on there. And yeah, that is the quick the quick view of this really long August update. So definitely check that out. All right. Anything else going on that I missed, Joseph? There probably is something, because there's been so much going on.
There has been a lot going on, and I'm stuck in this mental medium where I can't recall what I can talk about right now. So, like, I'm literally like, I've been sitting here this entire time you're going through that, and I'm looking through my emails like, what am I allowed to discuss, and what else do we have just on the back burner? Right?
Definitely not that.
Yeah. So, I guess the best piece of news that I have is that there will be much more news. That's what I can say, right? It's like, geez, we're doing a lot, and I know that I'm tired. I think that you may be, because both of us were up late last night as usual, right? Doing this, and we're up early today making it happen. Early is So. Yeah. You want to get down to it?
Well, yeah, I know. I can talk about this. I just can't show it. Okay. The reason I was up late is I'm working on those pre-sale assets for Care Bears. So all the Care Bears artwork is mine. I can't claim the designs because somebody else designed those, and the original designs are from before I was born. But I did do the Voxel versions of them, so it's exciting to see my work on that. Oh, can I not log into? It's the development build. I'm trying to find version 0.1 for the Sandbox here, so we can go and look at that Sandland group creation. So. Yeah, I can tell you that I was working on the Care Bears stuff last night. I just can't show it yet. That should be announced later this week. It's just there's approval processes whenever you're working with an IP. You have to make sure that the IP holders are happy with it. And can I not? I think the usernames and passwords changed from 0.1, so I might be totally locked out of doing the Sandland right now. But nope. No worries. The Sandland should return because I have sent the Sandland file, which for those of you who weren't here before, we did a collective game making thing where I think there was 15 or 16 of us who in stages built up a single land, and I did the finishing modeling or level building of it here on stream. But that was in version 0.1, and if I try opening it now, it doesn't work usually. We can try it. We can see if it works. Yeah. Nope, doesn't work. You can see that my screen's kind of glitched up, and it's because it's an old 0.1 file that hasn't been migrated up. So, yeah, to answer, am I saying it right? Amara Suri? Or can I just call you Amar? So you can, as long as you're using assets that you all own, Amara. Okay, we'll go with that. So as long as you're using all the same assets, you have all the same assets in your inventory, you can share a land from person to person. So, let's open up this one. So I can show you what the difference is between those things. So,
I just thought of a piece of news
Oh.
that may not be widely known.
Sure.
We have a very long-standing, strong partnership with Atari. I think many people watching would know that right now, but you may not know that we are also currently part of an Atari token competition.
Oh, yeah, I did see that mentioned.
Yeah.
I was.
So,
Can I
it
pull
is
that up
a
on screen?
Gleam.io competition, and the competition involves $1,000 in sand equivalent and more prizes with regards to the Sandbox, despite it being an Atari first competition. It also includes, of course, the Atari token, which will be useful in their Atari VCS console, in the Atari Casino, and for other uses in the future. So if you're interested in that, you can find it over on our Twitter page. It was posted on September 4th, and I'm going to go ahead and put it in the chat on as many outlets as I can here. I'll just have to link it on Restream in a second when I get on my second computer and find it.
Awesome. Well, I'm reorganizing my inventory here a little bit in the Game Maker real quickly. Let's see here. This is one of those dangers of streaming when you're working on secret projects.
Oh, very good.
And I had to very quickly hide some stuff.
Okay, let's see if I can do that.
That's the announcement in the chat there.
Yeah, I just put
awesome.
The Twitter link. That'll take you down to the feed there. So if you're not already following us on Twitter, that's going to help you get these kind of announcements that you may not be able to see in the telegrams or maybe not in the discords. You know, there are a lot of little tidbits that get pulled from here and there all the time.
Awesome.
Let's see. I'm going to go digging through Seb's recent posts as well and see what I've got. I might just dig through my own Twitter, frankly. I post so much now that I don't know.
Did I say this or did somebody else say this? All right. So, trying to avoid leaking too much. It's like it's just got to wait a couple days.
If you're not following on the Telegram chat, we did an AMA on Thursday with Sebastian. So he was able to highlight quite a lot of things, including mentioning that our partnerships aren't done with Care Bears. So if you thought they were done, they're not.
Definitely not. That's something I know that I can't talk about.
Yeah. He had mentioned, if I recall, that he wants to see more, and he may have misspoke, but he wants to see more announcements coming in this month. So we'll see how that develops as time goes along.
That wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah. And let's see here.
So somebody reminded me, we are doing giveaways, and I totally forgot. Our giveaway tool is still not working, so we're gonna have to probably. This is the second time that it's been gone for multiple streams in a row, like not letting me log in. So I think we'll need to figure out some different way of doing this for the future, but. Type !sand in the chat, and you've got about a minute to do that, and then we'll roll some dice, and Joseph will go back and find who our winner is. Yeah, RIP giveaway tool. So, for those of you who are just joining us, the giveaway that everybody asks about is we're giving away 100 sand. We do this 3 times a stream, and one of the 3 winners will also get an NFT. Now, I'm just about out of fountains that we had been giving away, and I'm trying really hard to get Wizzy minted, but Care Bears comes first. So that's been my main focus this past week, is getting their assets ready. So Wizzy will have to wait till next week probably. I want to do some more detailing on his robe. I think I want to make him a legendary asset, and I really want to give him the quality that a legendary asset deserves. So he's going to get a little more texturing on his clothes. I think his face looks great. So no changes there. So anyway, Wizzy will be coming soon as an NFT, I promise. In the meantime, we will figure out other things to give away. And yeah, so when you're all done with exclamation point, can you win a Care Bear? Well, that's sort of what you can't win a Care Bear from here. The Care Bears, there's going to be the 6 legendaries. So if you're aware with how we ran the last pre-sale, every time you would buy a premium land, it would come with one of the 6 legendary dragons selected randomly. So you had a chance of getting one of those 6, and afterwards you can maybe find somebody to swap trade with if you don't like the one that you got, or you can sell it and try to buy a different one. So you have options to try to get a hold of the exact bear that you want, but there's no way to determine that you're going to get a specific bear. So only with land. Well, yeah, so you can only buy, you can pick which land you're buying, but you can't pick which legendary asset is assigned to that land. There will be stuff to buy in the marketplace, probably for Care Bears too. We're still too early to really talk in detail about that, but we have had asset pre-sales also where you could select items to buy. That's actually the bomb tire we were giving away last week. Came from one of those pre-sales, came from, I believe, the first pre-sale. And the winner of that pre-sale, I don't know if you're able to get in contact with him, Joseph. We're having some issues with your wallet. So if you're watching, contact us, because we need to get you your win, your prize, your win. Good grief, I can't talk today.
Yeah, I've got them in chat. And so if you're watching now, it was Shah Khazar.
Okay. Yeah.
So they actually have multiple issues with their wallet where they can't see the sand that I sent them.
Oh, that's
so
an easy
we'll be
fix.
able to go over that. It is a relatively easy fix,
Yeah.
but if there are deeper seated issues, then we'll be going over that right after the stream here.
Awesome.
So,
yeah, you do because sand is so new. If you have like MetaMask, you do have to manually add the sand token tracking into your wallet. And if you go to the Medium article about the Binance release, it does have the official address for tracking sand listed there. And really, you go into MetaMask, there's an add token button, and you can add a custom token and paste the address in there, and it fills out all the other info, which is like the decimal places and the short SAND code. I don't know what they call that, the token name or something.
Yeah.
And then click OK, and it'll show up. It'll already be in your wallet if you already have it. It just doesn't show up until you tell MetaMask to look for it. So let's do the giveaway. 2K sand enough to prep me for a land grab. What's sand at right now?
20K sand is, if I was guessing, let me math it. I'm gonna math it. I'm not gonna guess because I don't want to be like, yeah, for sure, you're fine. Don't worry about it. First off, I want to make it really clear that we did get the confirmation that layer 2 integration isn't fully ready yet.
Oh,
not yet. Not yet. No, not ready. No, yay. But
you made it sound like it was going to be good news, and now I got all amped up.
Not good news, unfortunately. This is just an advisory. So
got it.
We have with layer 2 integration not quite being ready, meaning that we want to make sure that it's fully functional with no glitches, right?
Right.
There will need to be, as if when you bought DAI and used that DAI currency previously, you still needed a little bit of Ethereum in order to pay the gas fee. So that'll still be the case here. When you use sand for this, you'll need a little bit of Ethereum to process that. So before I make this calculation, I'm gonna just,
I think 20.
leave that.
I did a quick math on my calculator.
More than enough to buy
it's
some
like $800, right? Is that right?
Yeah, right. And that's undershooting the value, right? It could be
I said 4 cents, and it's slightly over 4 cents right now, and by the time the pre-sale comes, it could be higher. So
Sure,
at
as long as
$800. I mean,
yeah,
you'd have to go less than well, a land is $45, right? About.
right. A
So
land is
if you wanted
43.20, so you're
just
good to go.
one, the sand would have to go down to like point 2 cents or something like that. I
Way
don't
less.
I
Yeah,
don't see
yeah.
it going down that low. I mean, anything could
Right.
happen, but I don't see that happening. All right, so dice roll. It's a 2, just a 2. We got double zeros and a 2. So Joseph's gonna count up who the second to last person saying sand was.
Second to last? Rip. You mean first?
Second to first. I don't know which way you're scrolling.
Number 2. I always go top to bottom in the
Oh, okay.
interest of order there. So
That makes sense if there's
Uh,
people saying it last minute.
yeah. Okay. Well, easy enough. Looks like this morning not a lot of people on YouTube or any other service trying to get in here. So here we go. I put it in the chat. Avatar 2233 411. You won.
Congratulations. So you just won 100 sand, and we will see at the end in about half an hour here who the winner is of an NFT. Also, I'm not sure which NFT because we're trying to get that bomb out, so I'm gonna have to see what I have available. If I don't have an NFT available, like Wizzy getting minted is imminent here, so you may just have to wait like maybe a week, and we'll have a Wizzy going out. I'm reconsidering that name. We'll send a wizard your way. So anyway, on to what we were talking about. So people were asking about collaborative building. Now there's different kinds of assets, and you're not going to really be able to tell in the game maker. So kind of the first thing is to get familiar with your inventory. There's a lot of content in here that is free for anybody to use, and it kind of ends. Let's see how high. Where does it stop? And this list will change and expand as time goes on, and we make more free assets that are integrated into the game maker. I think it's pretty close to the top here. Yeah, so I believe this sword is the last asset that's going to be publicly available, at least for now. And you can see it's by TSB Game Account 1, which is the account that we use for integrating these assets into the game maker. And then basically everything beneath it is a free asset that anybody who has the game maker is going to be able to use. So if you want to make a game with other people before and you both have access to the beta or alpha, sorry, we're in alpha. So if you both have access to the alpha, and this would be before we make any collaborative building tools, because that is planned also. We do want players to be able to build together kind of simultaneously in a multiplayer experience. But that's further off down the line. So for now, if you are putting a team together, if you want to get involved in the Game Maker Fund with other people, you'll want to start building your game with the free assets that come in the Game Maker. So if you're having a hard time seeing other people in the chat, just look on the screen, because on the left side here is the chat log from all sources combined, and you can actually see a little icon that says what channel they're talking from. So we can see that we living in a simulation is chatting from YouTube. You can see Joseph as the Vision X from Twitch, so that if you're looking just at the Twitch chat or the YouTube chat, you might miss some parts of the conversation. So anyway, little side note there. So as you build a game, you want to use these free assets that are integrated into the game maker, because anybody who has the game maker will be able to see them. So you place this imp, and you then go to your land file, which is, let's see. You go to your user folder /appdata/locallo/tsb gaming /the sandbox /lands, and grab the PNG thumbnail and the land file. And sometimes there's an extra file, which I'm not entirely sure what the extra file is, but you would grab that also. You can then send those 2 or 3 files to your collaborator, and they will be able to use any of these assets. Now, you can add games through the add assets through the dashboard to your inventory. So stuff like this vending machine came from the dashboard, or this alchemy table came from the dashboard, and this fire pit came from the dashboard. So if I add these to my inventory, let's see. Go to sandbox.game. Oh, if it loads. It's having a hard time here. It might not be happy that I'm streaming while I'm trying to load up the page. Okay, here we go. So you go to the shop. Go to the shop. I think that the website's just going to have a hard time while I'm trying to stream and do all this stuff at the same time. And you click these little plus signs. These are publicly accessible assets. So that doesn't mean they're free. When you add them, you don't own them. You can't publish a game unless you've bought them. So right now, the marketplace isn't open for buying, but you can take a look at these assets, and anybody can add them to their inventory for like testing purposes, basically. So you click on the plus sign, it gets added to your inventory. You do have to refresh the game maker for now, because that doesn't automatically download, but that should come in the future. There will be automatic synchronization. So this asset is now in the inventory. If you put any assets that you've added from the marketplace, your collaborator will also have to add that asset. So you might give them like a list of URLs, and then they will add these to their inventory, and it will be able to download those into their game maker, so that way you both can see those assets. Now, the big exception to everything is that if you make your own custom assets, only you'll be able to see them when you put them in the game, because if you upload your asset and you have an artist account, if you don't submit that asset for approval and it gets approved by a mod, nobody else is going to be able to see it. So I'm a bunch of these assets. So like Wizzy here is not on the marketplace, or he's not publicly published on the marketplace. He's in my personal inventory, because I made him on stream and uploaded him, and you can actually find that in our replays if you search back. But we did not submit him for approval, and he has not been published to the marketplace. So yeah, the Necrobombcon, you cannot share unpublished assets. The URL will not work for anybody else except for the person who published it. And if you so there's different stages, and it gets a little complicated, and we're kind of talking about like the back end that the mods see. So this doesn't really it's not super useful information, but you might find it interesting. So when you click send for approval, that moves it to the pending approval queue. So the URL, when you click send for approval and you share the URL to your asset, it will work for a mod. You can share that link to a mod, and I, with my higher access, would be able to see it in the pending queue. If you send it to anybody else who doesn't have mod access, that it's going to send them to like a dead page, or I think it bumps them back to the main shop page. So you have to wait for a mod to approve it, so it's a published asset. And this process is kind of complicated now because we're only allowing people in the creator fund and contest winners and some of our like game maker funded creators to upload to the marketplace right now, because we don't have the community what's the word I'm looking for? Community moderation tools in place. I know we've talked before that we want people to be able to like report assets that are infringing on intellectual property, or if somebody like stole their content or did something super offensive. That we're not going to allow anything that's like racist or sexual or probably like promoting drugs or anything like that. So we will have a tool implemented to allow people to report that. There's going to be a bounty system, so that way we that if false reports basically will get punished. You're going to have to pay to report, and if the report's successful, you get a bounty from that. If the report's unsuccessful, like if we look at it and go like, why'd you report this? There's nothing wrong with this, and somebody was just trying to be malicious, then they lose their money on that. So that system's not implemented yet. We just have me and the creator fund leaders are basically, we see all the not all the uploads, we see all the publish requests. So if somebody does not hit send for approval, even I can't see it because they haven't published it yet. It's just sitting in their inventory and is not kind of pushed into the pending queue. So if somebody sent me a link to an unpublished asset, I might, with admin access, I might be able to see it, but I'd have to really know what I'm looking for. But yeah, you got to hit that send for approval button to get it pending, and then a mod has to publish it. So it's this whole process that's set up for the creator fund, and it's not scaled up for everybody submitting yet. It will be when the marketplace launches. So for now, if you're in the Game Maker Fund, or if you are in the Game Maker Alpha and you want to collaborate, you will need to use assets that are either built into the Game Maker, like our Bazaar merchant here, or if you upload assets, you're going to have to talk to somebody. Yeah, we don't really have a system in place for people who are just in the alpha. It's mostly for Game Maker Fund and Creator Fund. So really what you would have to do, and this is kind of complicated, is you would want to hit R. So let's say this is your asset. You just made this, you uploaded it. It's in your unpublished inventory. You haven't clicked send for approval. It's not pending for the mods. So only you can see this. How do you send this to your friends so that way they can try also? Well, you would want to send them this file so they can also upload it and put it in their unpublished queue. And really, you want to make sure you're collaborating with somebody you trust, somebody you're comfortable sharing files with, and you don't think they're going to steal your work. So send them this file, then hit the R key while you have it selected, and that brings up the replace asset. And then you would replace it with anything like fruits or the iron cage. And then you'd do that. And then you send them the file because this is included in the Game Maker. Then they open up the file and you let them know, oh, hey, if you see any iron cages, they're supposed to be this asset. And then they go and upload it. They replace with the R key. And then they type in vending machine. And then they can replace it and put it right back as what it's supposed to be. So that's a way that you can kind of, it's kind of convoluted, but if you're trying to collaborate in these early days before we have all the features built in, that's a workaround for it. So were there any questions about that? All of the hacking?
Oh, that was actually pretty good. I didn't realize that it was relatively that easy, right? Like I thought it'd be a lot more complicated to make that happen. So.
If you have a lot of assets, it's a lot more complicated. So if you had, well, it's actually not that much more complicated as long as you use one asset per thing that you're replacing. So let's say we've got a whole bunch of vending machines. Let's say if you had like a custom flower that was all over a field, you would need to open up your hierarchy panel and search for it. So that way only that asset comes up, and then you can shift click to select all of them. Obviously, there's nothing in between these, so it'd be really easy for me to drag select. But if you've made a whole level and these are all over the place and there's a bunch of other assets in between them, it makes it really complicated to select. So you want that hierarchy panel, search for the name, and then you can replace all at the same time. Bam. So it's
Yeah, that's really nice.
it's a
Really
little
nice.
complicated, but knowing that part of the tool is not really like set up for this yet, it is nice that you're able to do that. The multi-select controls have been a real huge improvement in 0.2, being able to select multiple items. You can even select items that aren't the same item, and you can replace them all with the same thing if you wanted. So you can do that.
Yeah, and to the tune of what has been kind of announced or trickled out, I noticed that on September 3rd, Seb made a post on social that says that you can possibly complete quests plus earn XP, and I know that we don't have an experience mechanic in the client right now.
Nope.
Do you have any insight on that?
Nope.
All right.
Yeah, so there's no experience options in here. I could probably find out because I know everybody who I would need to talk to find out more about that, but
Sure.
I have not seen the documentation on that or what the plan is for experience. We do want all sorts of experiences to be available. So, we've demonstrated interest in racing and first-person shooters, especially battle royales, platforming and RPGs. And so, of course, RPGs, a huge mechanic is experience. So,
Sure.
As far as what exactly that means for experience, is that talking about in a game, in a specific game on a specific land? Are you going to earn experience to upgrade a level for some, is your character going to increase in power on their attributes because they got experience and they leveled up? Are they, or is that going to be you as a player, across multiple worlds? Is your player going to be, MMO style stronger across the whole metaverse? That I don't know exactly what the plan for that implementation is. The difficulty with the metaverse is, of course, people are going to set up different kinds of games. So, your increased power level in a RPG combat scenario should not increase your engine power in a car racing game in a different game. I don't think so. What exactly that means is a mystery. We will find out. All will be revealed. So, were there any interesting questions coming up? PvP, yes, PvP is going to be a thing. So we've already got our swords, and we've got our combat mechanics with the combo attacks and dodging, and we've got enemies who have their own attack styles and their sensitivities, like that they will either sense you and pursue you, or they will try to flee from you or defend themselves. And then the next big thing is multiplayer, which we should start seeing more details about. We should start seeing more details with all that pretty soon, with that release at the end of the fourth quarter for the game player beta. It's alpha or beta, it doesn't really matter. The early access to the game player coming out will have multiplayer. That is like one of the core tenets. Is that what it's called?
Yeah,
one of
sure.
of the release for the public access to the early game is multiplayer. So you are going to be able to swing swords and attack each other.
Yep.
Most certainly.
Just to answer the question in chat here, making a game like the way that World of Warcraft's PvP works with capture the flag, other elements, characters having different abilities. I think you're going to be able to flesh out those different abilities as time goes along. I know that it's on the roadmap, of course. With any RPG style game, you want to make sure that you can have ranged attacks, and once that's in there, it's essentially going to then come down to your artistic ability to turn that into any kind of attack, right? Whether it's a magical ranged attack or if it's a physical ranged attack, those things being in there will take it to the next level for your PvP experiences. Some people may take those ranged attacks and turn them into a first-person shooter game or third-person shooter game.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody might turn it into the traditional tank shooter, things like that you've seen around. So, as that develops, then the diversity of these games is going to really get on the next level. So, Alex,
What's up?
what if I told you that rumor has it? I have a little insight on some of the potentials for experience.
Yeah, sure. As whatever you can say. I just realized I'm trapped in here, so.
One of the early concepts, and I don't know how develop proceeds. I'm not on the dev team, but I do know that one of the early concepts for leveling up, you asked something about if it was going to directly increase your power level, and the answer to that, as far as I can see, as in the past here, no, that's not the direction. So right now, some of the early testing has leveling up, enabling the players to take advantage of more stats from higher tier weapons.
Okay.
Those being an inventory system designed for your character. So if
I don't know if this is functioning right now in the current build, but well, the menu's all glitched up, but there is a power gem applied to this sword that we spawn with.
Sure.
So that's something that we can already sort of see. We don't. I haven't done extensive testing of combat to see if I do more damage with the sword or not. But we can already equip at least a sword, and I do know there's going to be more equipments coming.
And as an individual developer, when you're making that game, to answer the question here, Never Scare, is absolutely you can have folks getting better armor as they get leveled up in the game, right? Like it's just about you making a sword or a whatever, some armor, and then making version 2 for when they're leveled up and version 3 for when they're leveled up. So eventually you get to a top tier power level. Just keeping in mind that as a developer, when you're making those higher power level items, they are still, because it has a gem slot, you're going to need catalysts, you're going to need gems in order to be able to do that.
Right.
So if you want to make that, then I'm sure it's going to make a fantastic experience that people would be more than happy to pay for. So the sky's the limit for you.
I see Jake Lick has a question here. Is it possible to define the death of an avatar falls from too high? Not yet. There's no fall damage yet. I could try to think of some sort of convoluted system for that, and my brain hurts just trying to think of how I would make it work with parenting objects, and I don't have any way of really doing that effectively. But that should be something that we see in the future. There's so many mechanics that we could do that are just not there yet. So we just have to stay tuned for those to come in. And I don't really like the spacing of these blocks.
So do you want to do a second sand away?
Yes, we should, because we're running out of time here.
We're almost 9. Oh, yeah. My local time 9.
So exclamation point sand in the chat, starting now. We got about 1 minute to get those entries in there. We're gonna do 2 quick flash giveaways because we did talk about a lot of stuff today, so we kind of went through our time very quickly and did not get a lot built, but we'll get there. We talked about some pretty important stuff if you're in the Game Maker Fund or if you're in the alpha group of landowners, which is a lot of landowners. I mean, I think we've got hundreds of people using the game maker now, at least, starting to. If you misspell sand as sands, I think we should still count it. It's close enough.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm not a robot. You know what I mean? Like, I see it. If I notice your name twice, you're not getting away with it, though, I promise.
Yep. All right.
Caught one of those last week, so
Bum,
okay,
bum,
let's
bum.
see if I can do that. Dun dun dun! It's a trap. All right, give me the.
46. Do we have enough people?
46. I think that might be too high, but I'll try to get there.
I mean, we could loop it. We'll let him do some counting and see how many entries we had. Voting twice is bad. Yes, voting twice is bad. If you're gonna vote, you can only do it once.
There was 35. Roll it again.
All right.
And
Try it
I'm
again.
stopping it at DeFi guy on YouTube. You're the last possible entry in this particular roll. Some number
right.
less than 35.
We had 19. I had to.
Okay.
It was the 9 was upside down, but it's got the line on it. So I was just like, my brain was screaming at me. So number 19, you are the winner.
Okay. Is this fair or is this not? I
What's
can't
up?
tell. Avatar 2233411 is also number 19.
So we are allowing more than one winner. So because that's been
Luck.
that's
What
that,
luck is that? Oh
that's
my
been the case
goodness.
the whole time. So from the very first time we did these sand giveaways, I said you have more than one chance to win, because we don't want somebody to win their sand and then just leave. We want you to stick around and learn cool stuff.
I'm astonished right now. I gotta say, oh my goodness. Kind of makes my day. Hey, don't go to a casino or something, okay? Because you've used up all your luck. All right. That's all I gotta say. Oh
right.
gosh.
So I don't
I
know
already
if
have your ETH wallet, so it's all good.
there we go. So you just won
and,
200 sand. You still have a third chance to win. I mean, you could win.
Technically, you could walk away with it all today, right?
You could.
Here on twitch.tv/the Sandbox game.
It's totally possible. So, I don't see. I haven't seen somebody from one of our Game Maker Fund groups was asking about this, and I don't see them in the chat, so I don't know if they're here or not. But they were asking about this, so I'm going to talk about it real quickly, and then I can send them the clip. So they were asking about multi-variable input to accomplish a goal. So if you've got, let's say you're trying to get a car started, and the car is missing a battery, and it needs gas. So your car won't start without either of those things. So in order to escape the situation you're in, you need to find both of those items, get them to the car, and then you can drive away. So the complication right now is that there's no way to activate switch A and activate switch B and have those go together in an AND function or something like that to activate a goal. So the thing that you want to do, there's a couple different things that you could do, and probably the simplest one would be to make an objective that let's actually not do it in here because I don't want to complicate what we've already got going on. I almost just threw my dice across the room. Let's save, and let's go to a different spot. My nose is, I think my allergies are acting up. My nose is like super itchy today, but I don't want to be like scratching it right into the mic. This isn't an MSMR, SMR. What's it called?
ASMR.
ASMR.
Oh,
MSMR.
yeah.
Alex scratching his nose for 10 minutes. That would be my highest viewed video, wouldn't it? All right, so we're going to make a new...
Alex scratches his nose. Yep, that's
Oh
the
boy.
secret, right? You just get real low and slow, and just make sure that you're speaking from like your hips.
not the not the diaphragm,
Not the
the hips.
diaphragm. No, 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 no,
You
no.
gotta
You go all the way down.
you gotta
You know
go
what I mean? You just get
super
real
low.
Oh yeah.
Let's just do
Everybody
all the
loves
stream
it.
like
It's
this.
Yep.
I can only
The
talk
rest
like
of
that
the
for so long.
stream, we enjoy the sweet sounds of Alex live.
Oh, I'm starting to cry.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. We
not
enjoy
a
the
bad
sweet
thing.
sound of Alex tears. Oh yeah.
Oh boy. Okay.
All
so-
right. Give me just a second. We living in a simulation. I'm gonna send you the Discord link in just a second here. I just gotta pull it up for you, and then I will.
sand in my eyes. Yeah, it's just sand in my eyes. That's it.
Oh, there it is. Pocket sand. Just
Oh.
for you. All right, there you go. I sent you that Discord link over there on YouTube.
All right. So our goal is to get 2 things activated to set off one thing. So the simplest way to do this that I can think of is to do an objective counter. So you would say get the things, or no, you need a message to launch it, which so you would just say start, and we'll make another object that starts the quest. We don't need to fill in all this information. Not super useful here. So we would need a counter, and we would need to collect objects, and objective item would be the tag. So we're just going to say, just call it tag, because I'm not feeling very imaginative right now. And we need 2 of them. And then wait input, then send message, and message complete. We'll say done. Okay, so we've got start, tag, and done are our 3 tags. So we need something to start the quest. And this will be somebody's honking outside.
There's so much traffic in your house today. I don't know.
Have you been hearing a lot? Because that's the first time I've noticed it.
Oh yeah, no,
Oh.
absolutely. There's been a lot of like big deep trucks driving by.
Oh, I don't even notice those anymore. We live right on a main road. It's like it would be the highway if there wasn't an interstate, because
Yeah.
this goes like right up Connecticut.
I'm with you. I live right here on an actual highway, but it's kind of a backside highway because
Right.
on the other side of that highway is the Pacific Ocean, like a block and a half away.
Okay.
So there's constantly like that, especially now during the summer. There's that beach traffic
Yeah.
consistently driving by, and for whatever reason, this particular strip of this windy highway, people will see it and be like, "This is the point where I need to go 100 miles an hour." Right here. And so they just hit the accelerator and it's like, okay, I get it. I understand. You're self-conscious. I get it.
All right. So let's just check that this start works. Okay. So we've got our objective. Yeah, it's people. This is like a what you might call like a sleeper town. This is the kind of town where like nobody ever leaves. My wife grew up in this town. I did not, and so she left. We were living elsewhere, and then somehow it pulled her back in. It's also really cheap to live here, so compared to other parts of Connecticut, this is very affordable.
I'm there with you.
So yeah, I can see why people don't leave, except for the fact that it's a boring no place with a there's like nothing
Well,
here.
I don't know where you're at with affordability, but I mentioned I'm about a block and a half away from the beach. My rent is only $550 a month, which is like stellar cheap for everywhere north of
You can't
Tennessee.
rent. Yeah, you can't rent a closet in Connecticut for $500. What are you talking about?
Yeah. It's stellar.
The
It's really
cheapest
great.
I've ever
So,
seen rent for anybody. I think my wife, back when we were dating, she rented a room a room in a house with
Ooh.
4 other people, and the room was smaller than the office I'm in because it was an addition to a house. So it was, I think, less than 10 by 10 feet, and it was over $300 a month
Oof.
for just the room.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah.
That's nuts. You know.
And
Okay,
that
so there's a question in YouTube, and I want to hit at this
Yes.
before because it's been pasted like 4 times to make sure that I don't miss it.
Okay.
And I think it's a question. It has an exclamation.
Okay.
It says, if we exploit our land using the vertical axes, we can make bigger maps than just using the horizontal.
Oh, absolutely.
And
Yeah.
that was what, when we first started the stream, Alex was trying to show that, because he has a fully fleshed out, beautiful vertical world that shows
Yeah.
multiple different scenarios and areas and all this.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that world only works on version 0.1,
Yes.
which is lost to the ether now. We don't have
Not the ether.
0.1 anymore.
I don't know. Do I have them handy? I need to clear out my downloads folder because I download like 50 things a day doing like work related stuff, and I've got 747 items in my download folder.
Ooh. Oh yeah.
It's just like that. I really need to tidy that up. I don't know if I have. There were photos, and I don't know if they're in this folder or not. I don't see them here, so probably not. Yeah, we'll check out the Sandland eventually. I've sent it to the devs to have it upgraded if at all possible, or I might be able to figure out my 0.1 login and get back. But you can also watch it. You can watch the previous stream because we did it live.
True.
So I don't know if you can
I think that
find
was about
that
a
link.
month ago now.
It was about a month ago.
Let's see
Late. I think it was late. No, it was August 1st, I believe, because it was the day before my birthday.
Yeah, I totally see it here, and I'm going to link that in the
Awesome.
chat. So everyone who is watching now, darn it, I've got it over here on Twitch, and then I'm going to copy and paste it to myself so that I can paste it as the official Sandbox for those in YouTube and other platforms. So you'll see it twice if you're on Twitch, and I apologize for that.
All right. So, what are we gonna put as
Well, that didn't work. Did it? Let's go again. Didn't work. What are you doing?
I see a YouTube link.
There is one, but it's on Twitch right now.
Well, I
And I want to make sure that it makes it out to
Here.
YouTube, unless you can do that.
I
That'd be
got it.
great, yeah.
There it is.
All right.
So yeah,
Thank you.
if in the check out the chat, I just posted the link to the replay of when we did the Sandland. So that shows you a full, all the way down at the bottom. There was actually a part that that was a little broken because it was all the way down at the bottom. There wasn't any ground to jump off of. So if you like landed there, you weren't able to jump back up. So we got a little stuck there for a minute, and I didn't understand what was going on. But we will go all the way from the very bottom layer, almost all the way to the top. You want a little bit of headroom. You don't want to like hit the ceiling because then you have nothing like above you. But you can also check out the trailer I did for Jumper. Was way back in pre-alpha. Was version 0.08. Had a full top to bottom level. And you go like, it starts out, it's kind of like Super Mario Brothers where you're like going up with these hills, and then you're like literally up in the clouds, jumping on clouds, and there's like a little like ancient building up in the clouds. So that was a lot of fun to put together, but I don't know that I'll ever be able to recover that from version 0.08. It's very old now.
Yeah.
So let's see. So interaction, tag, and then we add another collectible component. Interaction, tag, if my fingers will work. And so, because we got like so off on a tangent, in case you don't remember what we're doing, we are trying to start a car. So we've got our battery, and we've got our gas, or gas and battery. It doesn't matter. We're making this up. So we start the quest. So we've got the objective of collecting the items that we need for the car. And so we grab one, and it actually says what we collected on the screen. So it'll say, like, you collected a gas can. Why is my objective not updating, though? Interesting. What did I do wrong? Tag amount to collected objects. Because I didn't put tag on the... Maybe I need tag on here. I thought that having it here... Oh, collect message. That's what I did wrong. So I need to actually put tag as the tag on the item, not as the message. That's what I did wrong. User error. All right.
Cool.
Now it should work. So we start the quest. So something in the gameplay would start your quest. You collect an item. Yep, now you can see the counter going up in the top corner. Or you could, if it was under the logo right when it happened. And then you collect the next one. And I'm going to turn off my webcam view real quick. So that way you can see the screen better. And let's turn off the Sandbox logos just so it doesn't interrupt. That way you get a full view of what's going on the screen. So the objective comes up. You get to see the 2D icon. That's the same as the marketplace icon that you set when you upload from VoxEdit. And then you click the next one. And then our quest is complete. And then it would continue on with whatever. So as part of our rules for that, we could say, so we've got that done message. We could say that, let's just say this is the car. We're using our imaginations. We've actually got car assets, so I don't... Why am I making you use your imagination? I made the car. Well, of course, now the library is going to take a while to show up. There it goes. All right. So we've got a car. Whoop. Grab the wrong handle. There we go. And we're going to move the offset to 0 and 10. And obviously you would make this more complicated and more nuanced in an actual game. But you would say, actually, can we do the behavior switcher? There it is. So this component behavior switcher will turn the car on when it gets the quest completed message. And if we edit the logic, we can tell it to start in off position. So is the behavior on, true, or off, false at the beginning? So we set to false, so the car is not running. There's nothing we can do to make the car run except collect the gas and the battery. I'm doing scare quotes, and I realize the webcam is still off. So, so now we get our quest, we get our items, and press enter to validate. And there it goes. There's a delay on there. The delay is changeable. It's the wait duration. So that's a very simplified way of doing it. So you could make actual assets that you have to collect for the car. You could even have to bring them to the car. So instead of having them be items that you actually collect, you could put the assets. You could have the asset be an item that you pick up, the way we pick up the cat on the wizard level. So you pick up the item, you bring it to the car, you can have an invisible sensor there that deletes the object, so that way it disappears, like you put it on the car, and then activates the the objective trigger. So that would be a way to, like, you bring a gas can to the car and the gas can like magically disappears, but now there's gas in the car, so it'll start. So that's a whole bunch of different things that you could do with that. And that's just what I came up with about 10 minutes before the stream. Somebody asked me about how to do this. And I'm like, I can talk about this on the stream, after the stream is supposed to be over. So let's do the last giveaway. As Dojira here car surfs. Go ahead and type an ! sand into the chat for the last chance to win 100 sand. And then we will do a dice roll. And hopefully we'll get like a number that's within. Oh, I saw a question. and then the chat exploded with sand. Let me scroll up. Amara asks what? Audio?
Nothing.
Oh.
Audio was the question.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
Yep, so you can do sounds. There's a very limited sound library right now. So that was actually an option with doing these as collectibles. You can actually have it make a sound when you collect them. So we could play the Dodge sound. And now when we will do that. That was really loud. But yeah, so you can do a collection sound. So I used to be able to put custom sounds in here, and then it seems like the ability was removed, so I'm not sure what the deal is with that. But sounds, I'm actually in charge of selecting all the sounds for the game. I'm not like totally in control of that, but I've been asked to put together a list of all the sound effects that our composer will need to make, both sound effects and musical hits like da-na-na-na, you open a chest, and like soundtrack sounds, like what kind of music we're going to want for gameplay. So I have to put all that together for our composer to start making those sounds for the December release. So there will be a lot more sound effects coming. Sound design tools built into here, possibly. I don't know what extent we're looking to do that for. I'm kind of thinking that there's a good possibility, and this hasn't been confirmed by anybody, but I have a feeling that because the sound assets, the way they're already integrated into the game maker, is just like the way assets are for 3D models. I have a feeling that sounds will be something available on the marketplace. So if you use your own sound design tools, whether you record real life sounds and tweak the settings on that, or if you use synthesizers or software, I have a feeling that you'll be able to start publishing those on the marketplace, or at the very least, you'll be able to publish them elsewhere and kind of advertise towards people who are interested in getting sounds into their games. So there's definitely going to be a demand for sound effects in the game maker. So maybe I will try to find out more info about what the plan is for sound effects as I work on that list. So let's do the dice roll. 35.
All right.
You think we got 35? So, any last minute questions? Because we're going to end the stream pretty quickly. Pipe fitting. Yeah. The pipe fitting doesn't look like fun. It doesn't sound.
32.
32. Oh no. Do we want to loop it or we want to reroll? Let's reroll because that's what we did last time. Keep it fair.
Yeah.
37. That's wrong direction. Maybe, how many did you say we have? 32?
32.
Like, what if I roll a d20, but then if we add 2 dice together, then number 1 can't win, so. We'll just keep rolling till we get 64. That's wrong direction. What if I roll I don't have
Aloe
anything.
said if we would have looped, Avatar would have won again.
Really?
Yeah.
40. Okay, we're getting closer. Why can't I roll under 30?
I don't know,
What's
but
30? I rolled a 30.
30. Okay, fair enough. That is Gundam Z.
Congratulations, Gundam Z.
You win.
I need a 36-sided die. I don't usually have a lot of use for it, but today it would have been useful. The server crashed? What, you mean the stream crashed? It seems to be.
What happened?
I don't know. It says everything's live for me.
No,
I don't know.
It was good. It was good on my end.
Okay. Sometimes, like Twitch or YouTube or whatever, will freak out. You just have to refresh the page. So, again, 6-sided die. First, 1 through 4. Should we make it one of 2 winners? What's more fair? To have 50-50 or
I think
1, 1, and 1? Who took ethics of statistics here? I did not. I was an art major.
Frank, if it was like every other competition ever, then Avatar would get 2 entries, right?
But now we're in control, so we can mess it all up.
We're in control. Yes. And because they're coming out of our personal assets, we have no reason to feel sad about it.
What's an oxymoron? Is ethics of statistics is an oxymoron? Probably, because
statistics are inherently ethical. You really can't mess with numbers.
Well, you can be ethical with statistics, or you can be not ethics in and of themselves are inert. They're just it's just numbers. But you can pick and choose how to report those numbers, or how to read those numbers, or how to collect those numbers. So you do have to be ethical with statistics.
All right, chat. Let's get the overall. I want to hear from the chat.
2 or 3.
See at least.
Give me a 2 or give me a 3.
Yeah, either 2 people can win this, or all 3 winners could win, which would mean Avatar would have a 2 out of 3 chance. It's up to the chat on this one. All input is valued here.
We got a 2. We got a no. That doesn't count. We got a 3.
It's a 3. Okay, we got a few 3s so far.
We're not doing the sand. We're not doing the sand giveaway anymore. We're all done with those. We've got a lot of 3s.
That's a lot of 3s.
I think
that's a lot of 3s. All right, so that means Avatar
we're gonna
has a few.
1 through 4
possibly, so.
can be Avatar, and 5 and 6. And Gundam Z's won a bunch of times before too, right? So not of the sand, but of the land.
This is a reward for being a frequent viewer.
Yeah. So it is a 2.
Right.
It's rigged.
All right, that means Avatar gets the NFT asset as well.
Well, with a 2, he would have won either way. So
yeah.
There's really the difference of does the 4 count for Avatar? Or does it count for Gundam? That was the only difference. So, all right, congratulations you two for winning. Thank you everybody for watching. I know we went really long today. 12:30. Well, it's about how long we used to stream for. So maybe this is just the amount of time we need. So I hope that was some useful information for Game Maker stuff. I know we didn't really build anything today, but if you're in the alpha, hopefully that gave you some tips that you can use. All right, so everybody have a safe and healthy weekend. It's nice and sunny where I am, so I hope you get a chance to enjoy that, and we will see you on Wednesday.
All right, see you later.